Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and I know Black Friday was a couple days ago at the very least, 4 or 5 days ago. No, it was even longer than, it was 6 days ago. However, our friends at Green Man Gaming still have 1 day left remaining on their colossal, gigantic Black Friday game sale. They've got a ton of great stuff discounted, and I thought I would do a final video. I've got like 15, 18 deals here. There's just a ton of stuff discounted, and this is still just the tip of the iceberg. So if you want more games, just go on their site. They are running the sale until tomorrow, so jump on anything that you want ASAP, and yeah, you can pick that all up. I do want to note right off the bat that we do have the 2K collection game bundle that is available. That's going to be available for a couple more days, but this bundle is insane. The bundle is $15, and it gets you a ton of stuff for your money. You get Tiny Tina's Wonderland's Chaotic Great Edition. You get XCOM Ultimate Collection, which is XCOM 2 Complete Collection, XCOM Enemy Unknown, and XCOM Chimera Squad. And yes, that does include the War of the Chosen DLC for XCOM 2. Topspin 2K25, Lego 2K Drive, Risk of Rain Returns, BioShock the Collection, The Quarry, and Rollerdrome. This is just a stacked lineup of some fantastic games, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, but some great games. And you know, I wasn't big on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, but I still thought the game was okay. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was awful, but I hated the board game aspect to it, and I thought the dialogue was absolutely terrible, but nonetheless, BioShock is awesome, XCOM is obviously fantastic, The Quarry is a fun playthrough, Rollerdrome is really well received, so there's a lot of great stuff in this bundle. Highly recommend that, so go check that out. Alright, now moving on from that, we've got some tremendous deals available. Let's go through this fairly quickly since there's a lot to go through. Dishonored 2 is 91% off for $255. This deal always comes in and out of stock whenever it's on sale. I guess a lot of people are picking it up. I imagine most of you own Dishonored 2 at this point, but for $255, it is a great deal. I know some people prefer Dishonored 1 over Dishonored 2, and that's fine. Dishonored 1 was a phenomenal game, but I really like Dishonored 2 as well. The gameplay, the visuals, the story, maybe it's not as good as Dishonored 1, but still pretty darn good, all things considered, and some replayability with the two playable main characters as well. Dishonored 2 is awesome, so highly recommend that. Skyrim Special Edition is $8.50. They do have the Anniversary Edition at $14.03, but I would stick with the Special Edition at $8.50. I think that's pretty good, but yeah, if you want to pick up the Anniversary Edition, that is discounted as well. Skyrim's an all-time classic. The modding scene is absolutely insane, and it's legitimately a game that you could buy it and it'll keep you busy, like, I don't want to say forever, but for a very, very long time if you take advantage of all the mods, the conversions, everything like that. There's a lot to sink your teeth into with Skyrim, so check that out. We got Middle-earth: The Shadow Bundle, 91% off for $5.95, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Just a fantastic collection for both of these titles. You know, $3 a pop, less than $3 a pop for each of them. That is just a ridiculous deal, and great open-world action adventure games. Unfortunately, the studio that is responsible for these games, they did get shut down. You know, it is what it is. These things happen in gaming, and it's unfortunate, especially when you're talking about a studio that has done so much incredible work like those guys did, but you know, again, it is what it is. Just a part of the game, I guess, but yeah, definitely check that out if you don't have them for that price point. A great pickup there. Zone of the Enders, the second runner, is 84% off for $4.80. An absolutely excellent deal for some great mecha action combat. If you know me, you know I love me my mecha action games, even if it's a genre that hasn't seen a lot of love, although shout out to From Software for Armored Core 6 a couple years ago. But yeah, Zone of the Enders is great. A little bit out there, but at the same time, I think the game is a lot of fun from a gameplay standpoint. Narratively, I find it to be interesting, and also, you know, the game was worked on by Hideo Kojima. A lot of people forget about Zone of the Enders because obviously he's famed for Metal Gear and Death Stranding now, but Zone of the Enders is a great time as well. $4.80 for that is great. Resident Evil Village, the Gold Edition, is $12.75. The Standard Edition is a little bit cheaper for $8.50. I would just get the Gold Edition, and I think that's a really, really great price point for a great survival horror title. I would definitely play Resident Evil Biohazard Remastered first, but if you already have that and you want to check out Village, great price on that for sure. Next up, we have Just Cause 3, $2.52 on that. The XXL edition is $3.78. I always go to bat for Just Cause 3, even though it was an absolute abomination of a PC port when it came out back in 2015. At this point, all of those issues have been ironed out, and what you are getting is an incredibly fun open world action title. And it's an open world game that really brings that fun factor. It's not a game that you're gonna take too seriously. It's all about just causing absolute mayhem and destruction, but from that standpoint, it really does do that very well, and I think it's a ton of fun in that regard. Do keep your expectations in line from a narrative standpoint. Like I've said, the game is nothing to write home about from a story standpoint, but from a gameplay standpoint, oh, it's a ton of fun, and causing all of the chaos is the best part about Just Cause 3. So $2.52 on that is great. It's a little bit more expensive, but Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is $22.95. I believe this is the lowest we've seen this game for, and that is a phenomenal price for Space Marine 2, a game that's been pretty consistent with their update rollout and everything like that. They've added new content, and I think it's just a ton of fun as like a co-op action game. And what I've said about the game is, to me, it harkens back to the best days of multiplayer shooters from the Xbox 360 era. Like, I totally get Gears vibes from this game, and I say that in the most complimentary way possible. Like, the game is just a ton of fun. I'm not crazy about the PvP, but the PvE, I think, is quite good, and then the co-op campaign is a ton of fun. Just, again, this is one of those games that brings the chaos, the anarchy, and the insanity, and sometimes that's exactly what you want out of the game, even if it's only an 8-hour campaign, 8 to 10 hour campaign. The final deal before I glaze some Square Enix deals, I do want to give another shout to Hogwarts Legacy. It's 87% off for $7.65. Now, I'm pretty confident that this is going to end up in some sort of humble bundle in the future, whether that be a humble Warner Brothers bundle, whether that be a humble choice, but for $7.65, this deal is still ridiculous. It is kind of wild to think that it's been almost 3 years since Hogwarts Legacy came out. I still remember pretty vividly playing the game, and then, unfortunately, launch wasn't that great with a lot of stuttering issues and whatnot. A lot of that has been ironed out at this point, and what you're getting is a really, really well-done open-world action RPG. And I've always said it, but Hogwarts Legacy, what I really liked about it is it's a smaller-scale open-world RPG. Not to say that it's lacking a ton of content. No, it's a 40-hour game, but I think it's perfect. They got the content level right in this game, while also the content is quite good. The puzzles are well done, the combat is really enjoyable, the world design I think is really good. Just a really well done game for $7.65. Again, I think this is just a great deal. Highly recommend that. Lastly, we're gonna rapid fire these Square Enix deals, since I know I glaze these games all the time, but Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack is $42. By the way, that's the price for XP members. Most of you guys are XP members at this point, but if you're not, go look for the XP entry pack. I believe that is still available, and that'll give you instant access into the XP program, and yes, that is still available. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below as well. But Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack, $42 on that is a great deal. You get both Rebirth and Remake, and obviously play the game sequentially, even though I would say that Rebirth is, a far superior game. Remake is still a pretty solid game, and it's not super lengthy, and then Rebirth really expands the game and adds a lot more content, and there's a lot to sink your teeth into with that. And Rebirth really gets to the point where the FF7 story really gets going. Remake is still, very much the introductory period, but still very worthwhile. $42 for both games I think is great. Final Fantasy XVI Complete Edition is $29.40, a game that I always go to bat for. I loved Final Fantasy XVI. Yes, the combat is fairly simplistic to a lot of people, but, there are a lot of abilities and whatnot. The game is super easy, though. That is something I totally understand the criticism of. After you beat the game, you do get a harder difficulty option, but I wish they just gave you that right off the rip. I get it that they raised the level cap and whatnot, but that's a issue I heard from a lot of people. Like, the game was just way too easy, and y'all know me. I'm all about games being fairly easy, but with FF16, I felt like it was really, really easy, and that's coming from me, you know what I'm saying? But with this, you also get the echoes of the the Fallen and the Rising Tide DLCs, and those are worthwhile. Story's really good. Badass main character as well. $29.40 on that is a great deal. NieR Automata Game of the YoRHa Edition, $13.44. I mean, this is an all-time great JRPG that's absolutely beloved. Soundtrack is incredible. Story is great. We just need NieR back in the scene as far as a new mainline NieR title. I'm sure it'll happen eventually, but it is kind of unfortunate that the franchise has been benched for so long after the success of NieR Automata. But great deal there. Kingdom Hearts INTEGRUM Masterpiece is $42. This includes Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and the Kingdom Hearts 3 and Remind DLC. This is just an absurd amount of content. You get Kingdom Hearts 1 in there, Ray Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, you get Dream Drop Distance, and then Kingdom Hearts 3, and there's a smaller episode with Aqua in there as well. This is just an absurd amount of content. If you want to get into Kingdom Hearts for whatever reason, if you never played it, this is the collection to buy, and yes, it's pricey at $42, but you are getting so many games, it is ridiculous. So great to see that, and finally great to have that on Steam. I know it came out like a year and a half ago at this point, but for a while it was looking kind of dire, but good to see that finally on Steam. Couple of final deals to round things out. Final Fantasy XV Windows Edition, $11.76. For a lot of people, kind of a black sheep in the Final Fantasy series, but still, I think pretty well done and an enjoyable game to go through. Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remastered, $10.08 on that. Final Fantasy X is a classic. X-2 isn't even that bad, and of course, I'd be remiss if I don't give my girl Lightning a shout. Final Fantasy XIII, $5.38 on that. You guys know how much I love Final Fantasy XIII. I think it's a great game. I've completed this game an absurd number of times, and I'll probably do another playthrough at some point. This is one of those games that, for me, I'll replay it continuously until the day I drop, because that's how much I liked Final Fantasy XIII. Yes, the story is a bit confusing, but I love the world. I like the characters, especially Lightning, the main character, and I just love the combat system. I thought the combat system was awesome. The paradigm system I just thought was really well done, and I really enjoyed the game. I totally get it. It's a super divisive game, but for me, it's one of those games that I absolutely adore. So, $5.38 on that is excellent, and the sequel is on sale as well, Final Fantasy XIII 2 and Lightning Returns, if you do want to check those out. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. That 2K bundle is excellent. You've got Dishonored 2, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and a ton of other cheaper deals, and then of course we had to glaze some of those Square Enix deals. Links to everything as always in the description box below. If you do end up picking anything up, I get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.